Hemi Badenoch slams. Starmer's policies in Parliament. Labour's response is a disaster, big promises versus harsh reality. Keir Starmer keeps talking about his grand plans to rescue Britain, from reviving the economy to fixing the NHS. But the reality tells a different story. Businesses are collapsing, and unemployment is rising. The cost of living has hit record highs, while the government remains completely out of touch. The NHS crisis persists. Despite Starmer's promises to reduce waiting lists, patients are still waiting months for treatment. Starmer talks about growth and prosperity, but where is it in reality? Job-killing policies? 100,000 jobs at risk. According to a Deutsche Bank report, Labour's proposed employment laws could lead to the loss of just 100,000 jobs. While Labour claims to protect workers' rights, the reality is the exact opposite. Businesses will face billions in additional costs. The private sector expects a 0.5% contraction in activity over the coming months. The very workers Labour claims to protect will be the first to be laid off due to the financial burden placed on businesses. How can a government that claims to protect jobs implement policies that destroy them? The NHS crisis, a system in total collapse. The Public Accounts Committee Parkenot's report was shocking, revealing that NHS executives have no real solutions to the crisis. In fact, they are blocking reforms. Some hospitals still rely on fax machines for communication. The officials responsible for NHS reform simply don't care. Millions of Brits are suffering. Surgeries are delayed, appointments are missed, and patients are left untreated. Is pouring more money into a failed bureaucratic system the solution, or is radical reform needed? Labour's failure to protect national security, the Southport incident, exposed Labour's complete security failure. The suspect was reported 3 times through the Prevent programme, yet no action was taken. He was found in possession of the deadly ricin poison, capable of killing thousands, yet there was no serious response from authorities. Starmer claims he was unaware of the issue. So is he lying? Or is he simply too incompetent to lead? How can a government that claims to protect its citizens ignore an obvious terrorist threat? Starmer's submission to Brussels. Is Brexit being undone? It's becoming clear that Starmer is trying to bring Britain back under EU control. He is negotiating a security agreement with the EU, which could allow Brussels to interfere in British policies. He is discussing a new migration scheme that would enable free movement of young people between Britain and the EU, meaning more uncontrolled migration. Talks are underway about joining EU customs agreements, which could impose EU regulations on British businesses. Is this the Brexit we voted for? Or is Starmer quietly dragging Britain back under Brussels' rule? The public is waking up, growing resistance and backlash. The numbers don't lie. Only 5% of Britons believe Labour puts Britain's interests first. 62% do not trust Starmer to handle immigration. The result? A surge in public resistance against Labour's policies. Protest movements are growing across the country as citizens reject the negative changes in their communities. Reform UK is rising fast and is now projected to win 118 seats in the next election. Time to fight back. Britain is facing a real crisis due to Starmer and Labour's policies. From economic collapse to NHS failure, from surrendering to Brussels to national security disasters, it's clear the country needs real change. The question is, will we stand idly by or will we fight for the Britain we voted for? Share your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for upcoming content, where we will expose Labour's ties to an extremist Islamic group inside Britain.